Hello everyone, welcome again to Sussex Strong Global. Now this week on Archetypes, Meghan invited the one, the only, the fabulous Mariah Carey to unpack the word Diva, the duality of the word Diva, and also Halle Berry, Amanda Seals, and Dr. Mashinka Firenze Papian got a mention. Hope I pronounced that right. So Mariah introduced her two dogs to Meghan. They spoke about the origination of the word diva and how it has changed throughout the years from something positive to something negative. The word has been redefined. Now, at one point, Mariah actually shocked Meghan when she said, Meghan, in the midst of the discussion, you give us diva moments sometimes, Meghan. Meghan said, what kind of diva moments do I give you? But however, later in her intro, Meghan admitted that until Mariah clarified what she meant, she started to sweat a little bit, wondering if Mariah could have read or heard something negative about her in the UK media. So until she realized that Mariah actually meant it as a compliment when she said diva, she was talking about the way Meghan dressed, Meghan's posture, Meghan's clothing, the quote-unquote fabulousness as she sees it. She meant diva as a compliment, not as a dig. But of course, the Sussex squad, we just call Meghan Queen. We just call Meghan Queen or Princess Henry of Wales or Meghan Duchess of Sussex. Whatever we call her, we have to agree that Meghan is fabulous and the picture of fabulousness whenever she's out in public. And as Harry said, a great mother and a great wife. So Meghan and Mariah went and had a down-to-earth discussion also about colorism. Mariah spoke about growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood with her father being black and her mom being white, and how racist people found this unacceptable. So when they are buying a house, her father would not go to the house sale. Her mom would go until then. Once they are ready to move in, her father would make an appearance because they know that if the realtor saw her dad, they wouldn't sell her family the house because of ingrained prejudice, So Mariah and Meghan spoke in depth about colorism. Meghan said, if there's any time in my life that it's been more focused on my race, it's only once I started dating my husband. Then I started to understand what it was like to be treated like a black woman. The most revealing parts of the conversation centered around their experiences as light-skinned biracial women and how things shifted when they hit a certain level of fame. Looking back to when she first identified with Mariah as biracial, Meghan said, I had read this article about Halle Berry and they were asking her how she felt being treated as a mixed race woman in the world, and her response was, well, your experience through the world is how people view you. So she said because she was darker in color, she was being treated as a black woman, not as a mixed woman or a mixed race woman. The podcast, Meghan stated that she felt she existed in an in-between zone. You're not treated as a black woman, you're not treated as a white woman, she explained, adding that she felt the perception of her ethnicity shift when she started dating Prince Harry, her husband, and how that at that time was when she really started to get treated as a black woman as opposed to a mixed woman, and things really shifted. Mariah came in at this moment and said, that's an interesting thing, a mixed woman, because I always thought it should be okay to say I'm mixed. It should be okay to say that, but people want you to choose. Which is true, because there are people on social media right now who, because they want to abuse Meghan, they keep saying she's not black. And then there are black people saying, but she's white. She doesn't understand really what it's like to go through the struggle. But, I can tell these people that, yes, well, maybe she didn't before she met Harry, but she does now, and Meghan is really going through it. So this conversation was really in depth, and I think it went with a video in 2012 of Meghan. She took part in this campaign called Erase the Hate when she was still starring in Suits. In that video, 2012, Meghan said I'm biracial. Most people can't tell what I'm mixed with, and so much of my life has felt like being a fly on the wall. Quite honestly, your race is part of what defines you. I think what shifts things is that the world really treats you based on how you look. Certain people don't look at me and see me as a black woman or a biracial woman. They treat me differently, I think, than they would if they knew what I was mixed with. So this was in 2012. So Meghan was talking about, I guess, privilege in her life of being mixed race and looking white passing. And because of that, she's admitting that, yes, there are privilege that goes with you, because there's such huge colorism even in the black community. You get treated better the lighter you are than those who are darker, your darker counterparts. And white people, as long as they know that you are mixed, you are not fully white, some of them will never accept. And this is what Meghan has been going through for the past 5 or so years, with the British media. I mean, up to a few days ago, Meghan was called a mutt by a UK tabloid writer. I can't call them journalists, tabloid writer. And they've been trying to be slick in throwing racial darts at Meghan and her kids. And I think that Meghan really felt it at that time, because then she's been treated as a black woman, and she understands and can sympathize with many of us who have been targeted because of our race. I mean, you'll see even some of the trolls, the things they write about her is just racist and really disgusting. And I'm so glad that Meghan is being strong, and she's once again using her voice to have these important conversations. She's using her voice once again to have these difficult discussions that people really don't want to have. A lot of people are uncomfortable by these discussions, and I love the way she presents these topics and how deeply she goes into it, because she can sympathize. She is going through these things, and so she is speaking from a place of experience, from a place of knowledge. And so we appreciate this second podcast. I mean, this is the second podcast, and so far it is fire, guys. I cannot wait for the other 10. They said she's supposed to do a dozen podcasts. I cannot wait for the other topics and hear the other discussions that will be discussed. And there are a lot of she has opened up these discussions, and persons are discussing it on social media of their experiences being mixed race, and there are actually black people who are saying they appreciate how she's talking about this, and that she has admitted that before she met Harry, yes, she had privilege because she was light skinned, she was lighter than a lot of her biracial counterparts. There are persons who are biracial and they're not light, they're actually darker than Meghan. And so from the get-go, they've been experiencing racist abuse, discrimination. But Meghan admits that, she is going through some things now, and she understands. She is now on the front line, All we have to do is see these racist hashtags sometimes on social media about her whenever Meghan makes an appearance or she has something to say. There is this panic, There is just this panic amongst the UK media, the trolls and, all the haters. And then you have hundreds and hundreds of bots, tweeting hashtags and demeaning and dehumanizing hashtags about her. But Meghan will always win. She will always come out on top, and I'm happy that she's making these friendships. She's making these connections with persons who can understand what she's going through and can give her a word of comfort and a word of encouragement, and they can help each other to be strong and to bear these attacks. Mariah Carey, at the end of the podcast, Meghan asked her three words that she would use to describe herself now, and Mariah said she's exhausted. She was exhausted, angry, and yet hopeful. Now, I'm not too sure what is going on in Mariah Carey's life, but we are praying for her and we are hoping for the best, that whatever challenges that she's going through, that she will come out on top and on the other side, because it really can be frustrating and exhausting to have your own family, attacking you in the media and kind of trying to paint this narrative about you and this picture about you that is just not who you are. I think Mariah has that experience, but whatever she's going through, she's a mom, she's an artist, she's amazing, and we wish her the best. So that's it for now. Remember, let's not just aim to be strong. Let's aim to be Sussex strong. Remember, give Spotify a listen, Archetypes, and also give it 5 stars. So until next time, goodbye.
Getting somewhere. Yeah, we all up in this shit. Yeah. I ain't to tap to settle down with a wife and kid. I live for the grind, and I grind to live. I wanna do the things that matter to me. Live like a good king, as life brings the good things. It's easy to get blinded by the stressing, and forget that every day is another blessing. No matter how many mistakes you make, life just keeps giving you another day. No rest for the ones that be grinding, and respect to my homies who be fighting in a war that will never end, in the pursuit to be better men. But then again, there's nothing to hold you back except yourself. You're caught up in the sauce on the road to hell. It's a slippery slope if you fall asleep. Why don't you fall asleep on me? Yeah, that shit, alright. Let's get it. This ain't a time to be tripping. Time to get on with your life, get your vibes right. Man, fuck chasing women, they are wasting your time. They just thinking about themselves, playing games on your mind. It's time to pull this shit together. Focus on your grind, getting busier than ever. Cause nothing feels better than to follow your dreams. Find your passion, cause without it your whole life gonna be lacking. We out of getting mad stacks every day. We don't got time for your petty games, cause we got purpose and nothing's gonna stand in the way. We're gonna do what they can't do, so get on my face. So whatever you say ain't gonna mean shit. The only thing that matters in this game is taking action. So get over yourself and wake the fuck just out here doing our thing, man. We're just out here doing our thing. Yeah, that shit, alright. Let's get it. This ain't a time to be tripping. Time to get on with your life, get your vibes right. Man, fuck chasing women, they are wasting your time. They just thinking about themselves, playing games on your mind. It's time to pull this shit together. focus on your grind, getting busier than ever. Cause nothing feels better than to follow your dreams, find your passion. Cause without it your whole life gonna be lacking. We out of getting mad stacks every day. We don't got time for your video games. Cause we got purpose and nothing's gonna stand in the way. We're gonna do what they can't do, so get on my face. So whatever you say ain't gonna mean shit. The only thing that matters in this game is taking action. So get over yourself and wake the fuck up.